So now we're gonna go into the Planet Hulk storyline.
Yes.
One of my favorites involving the Hulk, because it really puts him in the spotlight. I mean, he's the driving character for the whole thing, which is pretty rare when you think of the Hulk, because usually Hulk is just like, Hulk smash! And that's not a whole lot of character development.
He's a pretty dumb dude.
He can be. He has various incarnations over the years, and he's gone from everything to like dumb as bricks to super intelligent, where like all of his personalities merged, or it was a separate personality called the Professor, but whatever. And he's also been like, in this one, I call him moderately intelligent Hulk.
Okay.
So he's not like 2 words Hulk smash, but he's not where Banner is in terms of intelligence. So Nick Fury asks the Hulk to take care of a rogue Hydra satellite that apparently can activate all of the world's nuclear weapons simultaneously, and that's bad.
Yikes.
So apparently Hulk is the only one that can handle it, you know, comics, and sets him up into space. Hulk takes care of the situation, but he gets royally boned by Fury because that was part of a plan concocted by the Illuminati. Yeah, Marvel's got that crew. Who's made up of Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Black Bolt, and Namor. Essentially, they're like the 1% of the superhero universe. They came together, it's like, okay, Hulk is way too dangerous to keep on the planet, so we gotta do something about this. Even though he saved the world like God knows how many times, but
at what cost?
Yeah, what cost? Collateral damage. I mean, Hulk's actually killed quite a few people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not as many as you would think, but still he's got like a pretty high toll. So, of course, on the way to whatever planet they had programmed into the ship, shit goes wrong, mostly because Hulk smashes everything, which, you know, that's gonna happen. After he had the friggin' message played about everything that's going down, he goes into a wormhole, the ship crashes on a planet called Sakaar, and Hulk is just totally baffled by, he has no idea what the fuck's going on. Then he gets raided on by these freaking bipedal insect creatures.
Yeah, it was really gross.
Oh, absolutely.
Ugh. We call it Terminator. Terminex.
So yeah, they're going to scavenge the ship, and, you know, Hulk's just pissed off at anything that moves, so he's gonna smash his way, you know, fuck reason and everything. So, but apparently when he passed through the wormhole, he got weakened to the point, because if Hulk was like full strength going out from the get-go, nothing could stop him. Like, God help everybody that looked at him funny. And so he gets enslaved via an obedience disc by whatever ruling regime exists on the planet.
So it's a shock collar?
Shock collar, yep.
Insects, but a shock collar on the Hulk.
Shock collar, yep.
Okay.
I should just call it a shock disc, if anything.
Shock disc.
And the only way, you know, they can only do that because, you know, he's weakened for a time, but that doesn't stay the case throughout the course of the story. So he is, he's captured and he's sold off as a slave, straight up slave, like no going around that.
Right.
And he's sold off to one of the, I guess like a chancellor or somebody employed by the Red King, basically Caesar, or you know, the leader of whatever regime there is, to fight for everyone's amusement in the arena.
Like Gladiator.
This is Gladiator. This entire story, this
Gladiator.
is Gladiator.
Which came first, the Planet Hulk or the Gladiator? I don't know.
The artist straight up watched Gladiator, and then he was approached with making this story. He's like, huh, wonder what direction this can go in.
Yeah, I'm curious as to the plot right now. We'll see where this thumb goes, but I'm with you so far, so we'll see what happens.
So Hulk is Russell Crowe, and the Red King is Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin.
Joaquin?
Joaquin. It's one of those weird words I couldn't pronounce for a while. Like, I used to pronounce Chipotle as Chipotle or Chipotle. And
Chipotle?
And quinoa, I used to spell like quinoa, you know?
There's an Asian mom in our neighborhood that can't say sheets. She just says shits.
It's
hilarious.
Why would she say sheets? What would she need to say sheets for?
Dude, it's just, well, you know, Sheets, the gas station.
Oh, okay.
So every time she'd take the kids to Sheets, you know, like, hey kids, you want to get some shits? It's priceless, because she's not even like trying to mess around with it. Okay, moving on. So Hulk is dropped into the arena, and just like with every other poor sap in there, they start fighting giant tentacle monsters, because, you know, that's classic.
I see a few movies that start off like that.
Oh yeah, and they all end well.
On the hub.
So Hulk, he's nowhere near full strength at this time, but he still kicks it up pretty like badass gladiator style. He's got swords, various other weapons, and he pretty much just rams the shit out of all these monsters. And so the Red King, being super impressed, also arrogant as fuck, he dons his mech suit, because he's too much of a pussy to go toe-to-toe with the Hulk, you know, bare bones.
I don't blame him, man. I would be too.
Dude, seriously, giant green rage monster. I mean, hey, call it what you want. So he goes down, he's actually giving the Hulk a run for his money, up until the point where, you know, this is smarter Hulk, so he can actually, like, learn from battle, and since he's weaker, he actually, like, gets the upper hand, cuts him across the face. Red King don't like that, so he sends in his right-hand man, woman in this case, Shayera, and she starts battling for a little bit, but Red King's like, fuck this, and has one of his Robo Elite stun him and knock him out. So from that, Hulk is basically like stunned by the Robo Guard. And
watch your drinks, folks. Trust no one.
Trust no one. So he's forced to face, and I mean, this entire storyline, it just has Hulk like facing larger than life creatures, which is, pretty status quo for Hulk anyway, but it's compelling because he's in a weaker state than he would be. So you actually think, oh my God, Hulk might die from this shit. Like, how much abuse can he take before he may die or he gets to the tipping point? I mean, he gets fucked up left and right. He gets burned, he gets bombed on, he gets stabbed, he gets infected.
That's like Groundhog.
He gets space AIDS essentially at one point, and he just keeps on taking. Like, he rips out the space AIDS.
Dude, that's like Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. He tries to kill himself so many ways, but he literally cannot die.
That's pretty accurate. So the Hulk they go into the arena again. He's with a bunch of new people, so he's forced to face off against freaking lava creatures.
That looks like the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like the Cave of Wonders is alive and trying to kill Hulk and everybody else.
And on fire.
Fucking fire.
Aladdin would have not made
it.
Aladdin,
no carpet.
Very short movie if that was the case.
Bye-bye, Street Rat. And so as these fights continue along and the threats keep on getting bigger, the odds keep on getting slimmer. So, and the Red King's not having this, like, as the Hulk's becoming a sign of hope and optimism for his people, which is a no-no, because he wants to keep them all fucking repressed.
Right.
And it gets to a point where, he's tired of Hulk's shit, and he's he wants to wipe him off the board. So, straight up drops a bomb in the arena on Hulk and friends, because fuck it, why not?
He goes Hiroshima on Hulk
Hiroshima on Hulk. And what does Big Green do? He jumps up right in there with the rock guy blocking everybody else with shields and shit, goes in there, takes the bomb face first, and comes out just fine. 'Tis but a flesh wound.
Yeah, I don't believe the part where you told me that he was weakened, because there's no dude that could take a nuke to the dome and survive.
I never said weakened for long. He gradually goes back to Big Green Mean status.
Gotcha.
And then after that, to put a cherry on the crap cake, the Red King decides to throw a full-blown like robot death squad after the Hulk just took, atomic bomb to the face. But hey, it's the Hulk.
Yeah, if an atomic bomb didn't kill him, I don't think a robot death squad's gonna do
atomic
much,
bomb
really.
is an exaggeration, but it is a pretty, Hulk took it right to the face.
Right.
And just smiled. Just fucking smiled.
He laughed.
So they get subdued again, and then it gets to a point where the remaining members, the prisoners and the slaves, ones that haven't been killed off, because survival of the fittest, they decide to form a group called the Warbound. This is like a brotherhood, till death, Knights of the Round Table, do or die, from blood oath type shit times 10.
Hulk's ride or die. His fam, his squad. If we're gonna be using young lingo,
hip lingo.
Yeah, young hip lingo and colloquialisms.
So, and this is the group that you're rooting for from then on. So as Hulk and his merry band of misfits gradually keep on kicking ass and gaining popularity and almost like a cult following amongst the people, he's actually offered by Shira to Hulk's always wanted to be left alone, so she's willing to pull this thorn out of the Red King's side by offering him asylum somewhere else. And Hulk's like, nah.
Why?
This is too fucking great. Well, he's kind of getting off on being the monster, and he's always had that role his whole life. So he's got his merry band of men. They're all monsters. So he's gonna go along with this. And at the time when she was asking him that, he was getting a little action on the side. So of course he's gonna say nah. Cue the Barry White music.
Slow jams.
And so we get to yet another fight, but this one is quite the eye opener. And this is the thing that made me. Because when he passed through the wormhole in the beginning, I was calling it bullshit. This is just a plot device. If it doesn't affect anybody else, I'm not buying it. But turns out, Big Man Silver Surfer came through the wormhole way before Hulk did, and he got his powers nerfed too. Unless he was weakened, you can't force him to do anything he doesn't want to do. He's got the fucking power cosmic, which is the do anything move power. Yeah.
Right.
So they managed to enslave him, and they force him to fight the Hulk and his whole group, the Warbound, and it's fucking awesome.
It looks like he's getting his ass kicked real good there.
Oh, dude, the Hulk, he slams the Hulk left and right.
Yeah.
But he does get to a point where the Hulk, he doesn't beat. He's actually, Hulk gets mad enough to beat the crap out of the Surfer because he's get more of his powers back. But ends up he smashes the Surfer's obedience disc. So in gratitude, the Surfer says, "Fuck you" to everybody else's obedience disc, and they are all able to get free, and they bust the fuck out of there. Here we go, Hulk branching out, and with his merry band, they're going out, and really their whole objective now is like, take it to the Red King. And people get the idea, if you look at the whole plant growing from the ground bit in the one picture, it's that kind of gives more credibility to Hulk's idea, like he's the Sakar's son, or like almost like the messiah for the uprising of the oppressed. And his blood is literally making life grow from the ground. Super weird, I dig it though, it's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of symbolism for like life and hope and new beginnings. And
yeah, all that corny shit. Okay, so at one point, the spike thing didn't work that the Red King shot off. So Red King just goes to town with his battalion of warships and whatnot, and it gets to a point where even Shayera, his right-hand woman, sees the bullshit in his ways, because he starts tax his own people, his own settlements, really doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to see Hulk dead in the ground. So she pairs up with him and their whole group, and then they keep on sticking it to the red guy. And it gets to a point where Hulk goes toe-to-toe with the Red King himself in his big-ass mech suit, and it is truly a fight that it just epitomizes everything. I mean, Hulk throwing down the ruthless tyrant and just beating his ass 3 ways to Sunday.
Right.
And eventually, at the end, he punches him so hard that he gets exposed to the spikes, and yeah, boom, game over.
The Red King does?
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's great.
Man,
it's delicious.
It's, retribution.
Oh yeah.
It's a good payoff.
And after that point, Hulk becomes king, essentially, but he's more of he's a benevolent dictator. No, I wouldn't even call it that. Benevolent king. He's actually pretty damn good at leading everybody. Then he gets to see his little corner of happiness. He gets together with Shayera, because she could go toe-to-toe with him. Yeah. So she becomes his wife, and things are looking pretty good for the Hulk for a while. You know, people are at peace. He's solving whatever little qualms and all that are going down. So
yeah,
it's
I'm leaning this way. Everything is turning out great for the Hulk. This is good. I like
yeah,
it.
happy ending, feel good, fuzziness all around. Nope, fuck that.
Wait, what?
Turns out the ship that carried the Hulk there, everybody forgot about that for a while. Yeah, that ship's reactor, it goes nuclear and it blows the fuck up. It was actually really gut-wrenching to see this part, because I knew it was gonna happen, but still, it's like, oh, let this peaceful time for Hulk last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like give him, because like it's almost like cruel fate that he got a taste of what it could be like, be a normal guy. Well, as far as the Hulk can be. And then boom, bomb blows up. Hulk is the only one that's strong enough to withstand that kind of thing, and everybody gets incinerated around him.
Yikes. And you said his girlfriend was carrying a child?
Yep, his wife was carrying a child. Yes.
Ooh.
It is absurdly tragic, and this only serves to piss off the Hulk more than he's ever been in his entire life. I mean, he is like the epitome of his rage and anger. But it's even scarier because he's learned like meditation techniques, all that jazz from Shayera, and he's pretty like on the up and up with Banner inside his head.
Right.
Like they're like in agreement about what to do, which rarely happens.
Yeah.
Because Shayera loves like both sides of the Hulk. So he's like Super Saiyan form of Hulk right now. He's like the epitome of what he can do. So he takes his band of Warbound, and they're like, what do we want to do now? Let's go back to Earth and smash. Hulk they ride on a stone fucking ship back to Earth to kick the ass of everybody that was involved with sending the Hulk blasting off again into space.
So he's gonna go after the Illuminati.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
No holds bar, and that arc is called World War Hulk, very appropriately named. It's gonna be, it's fantastic.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's intense.
It sounds great, but I feel bad for the Hulk.
Of course you feel bad for the Hulk. It's a shitty, it does not do the Hulk any justice at all, but it does pave the way for even more ass kickery in World War Hulk.
Like when he kills people in an accident or collateral damage or whatever, like do you blame the toddler for spilling the milk, or do you blame yourself for putting the milk on the edge of the table in the first place, right? You know, so there's a cost.
Also, people die so much in comics anyways that you're kind of like, oh, neat.
Yeah, they're expendable, who cares?
That much less ink I have to put on the page.
All right, so that wraps up our Planet Hulk segment, and we're gonna move on to our surprise minigame.